All right, today is day one from my Adenium project. You guys probably don't know what an Adenium is. There's a desert plant. They call it the desert rose. It's they're very pretty. I have two right here. One's very beat up right now. I left it in the car, and I guess it just got beat up. Very nice. They're easy to take care of, and are very hardy to everyone but me. So this is like my 5th attempt at growing these guys, and so far I've discovered that I put too much care and want and attention to these guys, that I smother them and they die forever. So this time around, I'm just gonna treat them like this guy told me. Just treat them like any other succulent and they'll do fine. Just don't water them in the cold season or the cold nights. And I do that with all kinds of other plants, with my with my Edith Coleas, with my orchids and all this stuff. And I just don't, I never thought about moving these. And that's how I always lost them. I always lost them in a day of rain, and I just forget. I just come here and water everything. And it would rain and I would forget to that they can't have any cold roots and they'll die. So this time I'm gonna be a little bit more dedicated to these guys, because I'm gonna try to do it right from the soil up. So this is the first time I tackle these guys and actually want to do it the right way, because I didn't spend a lot of money on these guys, but they have so much potential. And I've been seeing these at the show and online, and all these people just have these beautiful showpieces of them, and I want that too. So I picked this one up because it has like a very gnarly looking growth on it. The grower, well, my friend that grows these, she dug it up during the wintertime. She said just to do it during the wintertime, but I've been reading and you could pretty much do it anytime. I also picked up this guy, but I left it in the car. I put him on the bottom, but I guess the sun was still beating it up and it just dried it out. It was worse, but since I've been giving it some water, it kind of sprang back up. But this one, it's called Pech Limon. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it's the name of the color. It's a triple. So it has 3 sets of petals and it's pink and beautiful. And I wish I could show you something more than that, but I picked them up. I left them in the car and I went to the garden show, and I spent like $11 million on orchids. And when I got back, it was just, I am so disappointed, but it's not dead, and I'm gonna keep it alive this time. See? I feel like my face is too dark. It's crazy because we're getting towards summer and the sun's right overhead, and I'm always wearing a hat. I'm wondering if all my videos were like this. Anyways, here's a soil. Since I'm going to bonsai this thing, I'm not gonna put it in a pot, in the recommended pot. I'm gonna make a lot, like a cross between succulent soil and bonsai soil. This will be a 3-part. Can you guys see that? This is all the same amount. I don't know why the soil just looks like a lot more. 1 part soil, 1 part pumice or volcano rock, and 1 part perlite. And when I do succulents, it's usually 1 part perlite, or like a 1/3 part perlite and the rest potting soil. When I do bonsai, it's usually 1 part pumice, 1 part the volcanic rock, and just like a smidget of the potting soil for a bonsai tree. This time I'm doing all 3. Where's me mixing spoon? One tip is the pumice. I have a big bag of the pumice. I have a gigantic bag of perlite. I have a huge bag of cat litter that's unscented and just pure clay. I have a bag of very sharp sand. It's good to have all these different mediums in case you want to either venture off or you get a finicky plant that just needs a little bit more care than all the other ones. I've used the pumice on some orchids. I've used the pumice on my carnivorous plants, the nepenthes and the butterworts. And I'm glad I bought a bag because I don't have to go on a mission to go look for it on some random day when I just have them right here. I have them all right here sitting here, and it's fantastic. I guess hoard stuff, hoard gardening stuff. These holes are enormous. Look at that. Dude. Let's see how this goes with these giant holes. Will you fall out? You know what, that's kind of okay. You guys can't see the giant holes, but all right, not a lot of it's coming out. Whew, I was worried. A secret, I've never used a bonsai pot before, and you know what? I'm going to need more soil. I had to make more soil. Shut up, I know. This stuff feels very, very horrible. You know what? I'm going to plant another plant with this, so I'm gonna leave about that much. And as for this guy's in some type of very light, very loomy. Dude, it's just peat moss. Peat moss. You believe that? Shun, you're gonna have to tell me all your secrets. I don't know if I should tell you guys what I've read online or not, since the stuff that's online, I've only read it. You know, it's not my knowledge, it's not my personal experience. So I don't feel like I have the right to tell you all this stuff that I want to do or that other people do. That's not my thing. I'm gonna hit it with the water hose. All right, I hit it with the hose. Hope I didn't destroy it. I guess I can't tell you what I've read, but I'm going to tell you what I want to do. People generally like lift them off the floor and just let the tender root tips into the soil. And that's what causes all this. Once the thin root tips touch air and get a little bit of the light and everything, they thicken up and turn into this huge, I guess like a root cortex or whatever. I'm actually tempted in cutting some of these off, but this is my first one. I don't think I have the knowledge or even the guts to do that. Right? I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go pick up some seedlings this weekend, and those guys I am gonna chop and reroot and try to do like the whole round root stuff, and I'll talk through it as I do it. All right. I've seen people tie these guys down, and they use wire, they use string or whatever. And since this bonsai pot really doesn't have anything to grab onto, I got some bonsai wire right here, and I made this ring. You know, I just twisted it around and super rings, and it's just there so I have something to tie onto. I don't want to go around the whole pot and do all this crazy stuff. I'll just, you know, I thought it was smart. No, he was buried up to like that much right here. That was his buried line. Well, actually, he had some soil in here. Had some soil in there, so it kind of still has some like water, like dirt roots right there. But I'm going to lay this guy down, and let me see. Just kind of wiggle him in there, and I don't want him laying on the pot. I don't want him. Hold on, let me move the camera down. And bonsai, everybody has their own preference, and your preference is never wrong. Don't let other people tell you that's not how you do it, that's not how it should be done, it should be this way, it should be that way, cut it this way. No, who cares? Who cares about what other people think? It's all about your vision, and it's your plan. And for me, I love symmetry. Everything has to be straight down the middle. So I don't want him touching here, and I want the same distance from this side to the rim, from here to this rim. And I totally failed. Hold on. There you go. To me, he is balanced. He is in there. All right, something terrible just happened. My camera, I guess, because it's hot, I really should put like a little umbrella over my camera or something. My battery's been draining really fast. I probably need to buy new batteries. I don't know. I should probably invest in some batteries. But the camera said I had 10 minutes left, and so I said, oh man, I'm almost done with this video, and it turned off, and it didn't save like the last 15 minutes of it. That's never, happened before. I didn't know I would lose so much. So I'm gonna continue where I think I left off, and right now I reviewed the footage that I have, and I found a good spot to continue. Anyways, after tucking in all this stuff, I realized that this media is so coarse and airy that I could go ahead and compress it, and it's not gonna put the plant in at any risk anyway, because the water will just flow straight through it. So I went ahead and started compressing it, and it's in there pretty well. It's just grabbing onto like an inch of the roots, and it's not going anywhere, and I like that. So I don't really have to tie it up to this wireframe thing, but I'm still gonna leave it here in case I do want to tie. Like, what if I want to bend this way, and I have somewhere, whatever. I want options. Another thing I did towards the end is remove some of there was like a halfway dead root. I guess when she lifted it up, when she lifted the plant up, this one was just, it couldn't get any nutrients, so it shriveled up, and I think I threw it out. But I just pinched off the piece, and I grabbed the glove and some ground cinnamon from the kitchen, and just put some cinnamon on it. The reason of the cinnamon, I did some back here too. They look like that, and I didn't like them. I just took them off. The reason for the cinnamon is it's an antifungal, and I think it's also like antibacterial, and it'll dry it up, and I won't risk getting rot or any other diseases on the plant itself, So until that dries off completely, I can't water the whole entire thing, but that's all right, because I'm planning to submerge water this guy since it's in a bonsai pot, and the media is so light that if I pour water in it, it could either make a hole or make it all drain out from the bottom. So submerging it into a tub is a way better way of watering it, and that's really why a lot of bonsai growers do the whole submersion thing. It's just, like I said, it's such a light soil that anything could just move it out of the way. I was gonna plant another plant right here, sort of a ground cover, since this doesn't look nice, and I don't just want to put rocks in it. I want to put some kind of green, and I have this sedum right here. it's really nice. It's a nice ground cover type of setup. It spreads out and it stays green all year long. And the good thing about this is that it's drought tolerant and it's also a succulent. So it uses the same watering requirements and light requirements as this guy. So I don't have to overwater like if I was to try to grow moss over it. If I was to try to grow natural moss needs to be watered every day in a bonsai pot, sometimes twice a day, depending how hot it is, and it'll kill the plant for sure. So this stuff, I could water it once a week or once, every so long. Maybe in the winter it might die because it doesn't get that cold here, but there are some nights, California weather is so unpredictable. I'll just get some nights that are super cold and I'll lose some of my plants because I didn't prepare for that, and I watered the night before because it was such a hot day, but whatever. So in the wintertime I might not water this, and there's a possibility that this guy might die, but it's okay. If it dies, just pluck it out or repot it and start all over again, and I'll have a good season with it. But I'm not going to plant it now because the plant's going to be all stressed out and ugly. I'm going to use this little guy. It's the same exact plant. This one just a little bit underwatered, but I'm going to let it soak in a little bit, and by next week when I'm ready to put it in here, it'll be fine. But so far I'm pretty much done with this guy. I sort of like the way he came out. I don't like the angle of the branches, but I don't want to cut them. I don't want to trim them. I also don't want to bind them in cable because I don't know how to do it yet. I'm going to wait and ask some guys from the Facebook groups exactly how I could train these guys. I would sort of like it like this, and a little bit forward. This guy taller than bend it, and I really hate this guy. I want to cut him off, but whatever. I don't know if I can or not. I don't know how to prune these guys, but I am very happy with the way it turned out. Let me see if I can get in there. Like, the roots are just beautiful. This guy is super pretty, and there's like space inside of the roots, and they're like I could kind of see you. You guys see me? And I don't know. I'm very happy with this. I just hope the green sort of goes away, but I'm pretty sure it will. I'm gonna go ahead and soak this off camera, and for now on I'm gonna have the camera plugged in like it is right now. It's a little bit of a big hassle, but I won't lose any footage again. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, I would really like suggestions on this plant. I am very new to this. I am not new to killing them, and I really would like any advice or anything that you think would help me out. And I guess that's it. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and this is part one of many of this little guy, so I'm probably gonna give him a name. No, I don't name anything, but this is part one of this little guy's voyage, and I hope I keep making more videos of this guy because I really like these plants. I don't know what color the flower is. She doesn't know what color the flower is, so I just bought it because of this. This is how I would want it, and pretty cool. All right. If you want to support my channel, there's a Patreon link down below, and I'll be doing giveaways and stuff. And you never know. Right now I'm not sure what plant I'm going to give away for the first month. It could be one of these guys. I could just box this up and send it out. I'm going to pick up some seedlings later on. It could be a seedling. You guys could probably do this with me, and I think that would be pretty cool. Or do the other project where I cut it in half and cut off all the roots, hang it, and put it in. It's crazy. I'm gonna try to do that in next week. So pretty much it. All right, everybody. Thanks.